We're kicking it old school by recording at almost 11 p.m. Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. To get right into it, we are dealing with Port Charlotte 10-year. This is by Bruichladdich Distillery. This bottle was donated to the channel by Zenbood. Zenbood, you are awesome. And I have to also begin this with an admission that I have had a very rare version from this distillery. It's called Black Art. One of the things I found interesting about this little bottle, well, container for bottle, is look. I don't know if it comes up on camera very well, but it's this yellow orangish color encasing the whole thing. For no reason that I can really tell, other than it looks pretty nice. And you can do that with it. This is a very well-known bottle in the whiskey world, industry. Whiskey tube? Whiskey tube. And Whiskey Vault in particular has given high praise to said whiskey. This is an Islay Scotch. I need to start saying that first because people who haven't gotten into Islay might not know what they're in for. And I'm not the type of person who wants to bring anyone close to Islay whiskey unless they are willing. So since you're here watching this video, I'll assume you consent. Ow. Always plastic, but there's a strip. Oh. Oh. This is much fancier than I realized. See that? It's a little tab. Out of all the whiskeys I've had, this is the first one that's ever had a fairly easy to grab tab. It comes right off. Why don't more people do that? I have to admit, this bottle is absolutely amazing to look at. I mean, I'm not going to be looking at the bottle that much, but for the few moments that I will, anything that has this kind of thing going on in the back that is glass, always just, it's that just a little extra touch. Wow. Oh, I got some on me. I have to take a shower now. Suddenly he realizes this is one of those bottles that's not easy to grab nor pour. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Getting a closer look at the bottle, you can see this is Port Charlotte heavily peated Islay single malt, coming in at 50%. And that is what caught my attention. There are plenty of scotches out there, but if you look on my shelf right now, almost all of them, from Islay in particular, tend to be a higher percentage than 40%, which a lot of scotches seem to come out as. I didn't see non-chill filtered or no color added on this, but from just a glance, I don't think they would use coloring. And I also know at the percentage it's at, it doesn't need to say non-chill filter. We begin with the color. Look at it. Isn't that lovely? It's almost like a golden tin color. On to the nose. Oh, oh. All right. It's almost like a seared apple, chimney smoke like. It is making me think of a baked apple. And if I remember correctly, it's fairly simple. You just put it in the stove or over a fire, and you add like cinnamon sugar in the middle of it. So you core the thing and put a bunch of cinnamon sugar in it. And that is what it's making me think of, which sounds delightful. As of the recording of this, we have just gotten into October. Yeah, peated scotches always have this nice vanilla, and it leans into a shortbread cookie. I'm actually thinking of something I had to look up on my phone called Vienna Fingers. They're a vanilla hard cookie with some kind of vanilla frosting in the middle. And I'm getting a whiff on this, and I also want cookies now. Whiskey first, then cookies. Yeah, for heavily peated, this is coming off much softer than I anticipated. But I have yet to get into a scotch that has sent me reeling ever since, well, even with Lefroy. I was surprised by it, but it wasn't like, blah, which is a very normal reaction for some people. So boiling it down is chimney smoke, apple, and vanilla. With that, let's go on to the palate. I'm excited. Are you excited? You should be. Oh. Oof. Hello. 50%. How are you? Oh, yeah. There's a nice lingering ash on the finish. Again, first sip. But good experience. It had a nice progression. Oh, that ashy note is going to linger for the rest of the night and very likely after I brush my teeth. Oh, this is really enjoyable. I haven't had a peated scotch in a hot minute, so I have been waiting for this. And I didn't really realize it until I suddenly found it in my hands. All right, second sip, hold on the palate, see what we can derive from that. Oh, it's so soft and sweet at the beginning. And then it starts to dry out, and then the ash note sets in. Damn. The texture's pretty good, too. I don't want to call it oily, but it's slick. It hangs around. All right, other than vanilla and the dry note, I get a hell of a lot out of it. It is tasty. It's a nice sweetness, but it comes and goes very quickly. That's not bad. I just want more. Maybe a slightly bigger sip this time. Mandarin orange, peppery, the vanilla sticks around, and it just slowly teeters off. It's just like my entire tongue is getting slightly tingly, possibly the proof, and dry. And the dry thing is always funny to me because then you want to take another sip. And I think that's part of what whiskeys want to do. And I believe that part of the enjoyment of Islay Scotches is they give that feeling. Because you have a sip, it's like, whoa, man, rah, and then dry tongue, oh, another. It's so good up front. I'm not saying it gets bad, but the longer you hold it on the tongue, it stays sweet. It's almost a vanilla cream note, which is why it's making me think of those Vienna fingers, because those can be really good. A little hard at the beginning, but sweet and inviting. I want cookies. All right, one more sip. I'm trying to think of the feeling more than just the palate. All right, we're thinking about the ocean. We're thinking about being near the beach, but it's not during summer. It's like this time of year when it's cooled off. It's autumn, and you're walking along the water on the island of Islay. That sounds absolutely wonderful. This is the closest I've come to any kind of Islay Scotch that actually makes me imagine what Islay could be like. I've seen the pictures. I've seen videos. It looks like a mystical, almost fantastical place. And for whatever reason, this whiskey is making me think of that place even and like imagine what it's like there without me having thought about it before I took a sip of this. That is a good Scotch. There you have it, folks. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome, and I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whisky Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.